Good morning. Today we're going to continue factoring trinomials, part 2. So if you'll pull your notes from yesterday's lesson, and these were the notes that you needed yesterday and to finish off the lesson today. Remember, you can stop the video anytime to try examples on your own. So yesterday when we left off, we said when you factor a trinomial, we look at the value of c, which is 72, and we want to list all the factors that would multiply and create 72. Remember, the sign is important. We want to make sure that whatever signs we choose will also add up to 17, which is the value of b. So in this case, it looks like all the factors will be positive. When the number is larger, we tend to have more factors. So it is helpful if you start to organize your factors in an organized method. I always start with 1 and then move to 2 and 3 and so on. So you can see I've listed all the factors of 72, and I'm going to select the grouping that will add up to 17. And we can see that that is 8 and 9. They're both positive. So when we write our factored trinomial, it'll be 8 plus a and 9 plus a. If you want to take a minute and look at the factors of 40, keep in mind that b is negative. So that tells me that both factors of 40 have to be negative as well. And there's all the factors that will create positive 40. And we want the pair that will add up to negative 14. So I can see that it's negative 4 and negative 10. And my two binomials will be v minus 4 and v minus 10. Now we can see that c is a bit larger this time. So now we're in triple digits. There could be a lot more factors. So it is helpful to continue to make the list. If you feel that you can factor it without making a list, you're welcome to do that. Just be careful of the sign. So for negative 130, that tells me there's one of each. I did assign the negative to the smaller value in this round. And I can see that to get positive 3, I'll need negative 10 and positive 13 as my set of factors. And then I'm going to use those signs when I write up the binomials. For number 12, again, 60 is positive, so that tells me both the factors are negative or both positive. But when I examine b, because b is negative, I believe that both factors will be negative. So I'm going to make a list of factors for positive 60. And then I'm going to select the pair that adds up to negative 16. And I'm going to use those signs w minus 10 and w minus 6. You can always check these problems once they've been factored by distributing and verifying that you get the original trinomial back. For number 13, we're factoring and making a list for negative 120. 1 is positive, 1 is negative, and there's my list. This is quite a big list. Now, I've assigned the negative to the smaller value, and I can see when I go through, though, 10 and 12 should be the right combination, but when I add these two, it's positive 2 and not negative 2. That just tells me that the negative is actually on the larger value and not the smaller value. So when I select that pair, I'm going to switch the signs. Now I can see that it's negative 2. And with that correct combination, I have my two binomials. For number 14, typically I'll use a calculator here. So again, I'll start with 1 and 156, and then 2 and 78. But then I start using the calculator and I'll divide 156 by 3 and 4. And actually I'll go in order. I'll check for 5, 6 works. And then I've also checked 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And finally, when I get to 12, I can see that the factors are 12 and 13. This is a sign that there won't be any more factors to list and that my list is complete. But 12 and 13 is also the set that will add up to 25. And they're both positive, so there are my two binomials. Two more examples. 240 is quite large, so again, I'm going to make a list. If you feel like you can do this without the list, all you have to do is write down the two binomials, but I would double check that you do obtain the right two values. So this is quite an extensive list. My sum has to be 31. So 15 and 16 was the last set, and again, they're next to each other, but they do sum to 31. So we'll have our binomials of h plus 15 and h plus 16. Hopefully this is becoming easier for you and that you understand the process. Our last example is negative 117. That tells me there's one of each. Don't think that 117 is prime. I can see by adding the digits, 7 plus 1 plus 1. The sum of the digits is 9, so that tells me that 117 does have other factors. I have assigned the negative to the larger value, so that when I add my values together, it will also be negative. And I'm looking for negative 4. So the correct combination is 9 and negative 13. And my binomials, h plus 9, h minus 13. This is the second day of factoring. Make sure you choose the packet that has number 1 that starts with v squared minus 5v plus 4. This packet is a little bit longer. I believe it has 3 pages. If you get stuck, please make sure you call me. You can call me at home if you want to talk something through. You can send me a text or call my cell phone. If you want to send me a picture of what work you've done, you can do that and I can check to see if it was right, or you can send me an email. Have a great day.